Ringside Riot, I've seen into the future, and the next flashback poll winner is... Naked Midian.
Let's talk about wrestling. Pull a seat up and pour yourself a cold drink. We're gonna talk about the things that fire you up. Because it is wrestling. Everyone is coming down, not wearing a frown. Talk about it, we gonna talk about it. Talk about the things that really fire you up. And because it is wrestling, everyone is coming down, not wearing a frown.
Before we get into the oh-so-exciting world of wrestling this week, let's talk controversy. In a world where we know controversy creates cash. WWE.com hosted a poll asking fans which legendary wrestling personality should get a Mattel WWE flashback figure out of Ric Flair, Goldberg, Mike Tyson, and Razor Ramon. One of these things is not like the other. Which is different? Do you know? Mattel confirmed on the Wrestling Figs forums that this poll had nothing to do with them, and none of these names are signed to Legends contracts, so this raises way more questions than it answers. Like what one person voted 20,371 times for Mike Tyson? It was you, wasn't it? I knew it was you. You broke my heart. Get well soon, Dolph Ziggler. A concussion is a scary thing and is not to be taken lightly. It's a pretty solid reminder that every time a wrestler hits the ring, they're putting their health and wellness on the line, just for your entertainment. Don't take it for granted. John Cena and Team Hell No versus The Shield. Well, we all know how this is going to go, don't we? For those of you that don't know, John Cena is an expert at standing alone and facing off against an army of opponents. After all, he's won 2 Royal Rumbles, so how hard could the hottest, most powerful team in the WWE be, right? Same old shit. 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 Let's talk about Daniel Bryan for a minute. The Dazzler is one of those guys that both mainstream and independent wrestling fans alike just love. He's got a nice laid-back personality that always shines through, and he's an amazing technical wrestler, which makes him unique and always just a real treat. The guy's a real treat to watch anytime he's on screen. He's definitely a treat. He never complains, though, when he's subjected to silly things like CM Punk seems to all the time. Is it because he's just happy where he is? Could we all take note of this and apply it to our own daily lives and be happy where we are? What do you think of our little darling? Let me know in the comments. So this man is labeled boring. That's pretty funny. So what do you label this man? Or you know what, how about this man? Actually, I can't get him to stand up. Actually, what do you label this man? What did Forrest Gump say? Boring is as boring does? No, that's not it. He wasn't that stupid. Take note, this is how short, time slot filling wrestling matches should be. No, I need more time, give me more time. With a couple of heavy duty pay-per-views coming up, it's tough to say if you're not excited by wrestling right now, when you will be again. But let's hope Slammiversary and Extreme Rules add a little fuel to the wrestling fire. In the meantime, it's summertime. So distractions pretty soon are gonna be everywhere.
How are you gonna speak Canadian like, oh my god, this is amazing, my life is awesome!
Ringside Riot is brought to you by the Jax TNA exclusive Glow Paint Jeff Hardy. Wildly popular and available once again for all you creatures living amongst the night. Welcome to Ringside Collectibles. What the f***? Are you serious? You're in the wrong room, idiot. Ringside Mailbag, clearly scrambling my brain right now. Darth Epic Jedi asked, what is your favorite Elite figure? Did you miss that episode a couple weeks ago with all the Christians like flying all over the place? My favorite Elite figure up to this point right now was the TRU exclusive Build a Johnny Ace figure Christian with the white Intercontinental Championship. So far that to me was the most spot on Christian we've ever seen. Sweet toy. Alex Granger asked, what shall I call you? Tom, Tommy, or Dramatico? Tom's fine, Dramatico, if you really want to call me that, that's fine also. Tommy, you better be a cousin of mine that I've never met. Luke Ravens 2001 asks, who is your favorite member of 3MB? We're allowed to have favorite 3MB members? I would say, I guess it's Jinder Mahal, you know? He's kind of given some really weird things to work with and he's making it work. He's really a convincing 3-man band member. 3MB, if you're seeing this, Luke Ravens 2001 is probably your biggest fan. Scutteroff asks, if you could run WWE for a week, what would you do? Jump out a window, probably. Let's just say when there's a kitchen and there's way too many cooks cooking food in the kitchen. Sometimes they're not even cooking food, they're just in the kitchen. So you kind of take the cooks that there's too many of in the kitchen out of the kitchen and maybe possibly fire them. I might be the only cook in my kitchen. If I could run WWE for a week, I'd be the only cook in my kitchen. And then once that week is up, the legitimate only cook in the kitchen named Vince McMahon would probably come back and choke me to death, so. Sophisticated Cow asks, what do you like better, eating cheese or watching WWE? Would that be cheese from the milk of a sophisticated cow? Dustin Gangale asks, do you like cheese? Is it cheese week or something? Oh, also, I forget who the name is, but I saw that smart aleck who asked me if I like apple juice, asking me if I like mango juice this week. You can't just name a bunch of fruit juices and hope that I like them. Buffalo Sabres 3100 asks, do you like hockey? Do you like hockey? This is a big important game. I'm serious, don't do that. I like any game where I can see a Boston or a New York team lose. Christian Sims asked, will you please, Tom, tell Mattel if they don't start making more elite scale rings, I'm never buying another toy from them again. Do you hear that, Mattel? Start making more elite scale rings, or Christian Sims will never buy another toy from you ever again. Hopefully that's threatening enough to get them going. Right on, Christian Sims. Loverton1383, worst Attitude Era superstar. Wow, that's a tough. I don't know. I used to love Al Snow and Big Boss Man matches. It didn't matter to me who was on screen, I was always happy. I guess if I had to pick the worst, I would say I didn't really love Gangrel or anything, but I do love Gangrel, so I don't know. Who's the worst Attitude Era superstar? Everybody let me know in the comments so I could have something to say from now on whenever I'm asked that question. Jordan Bartmess asked, Tom, who do you think will end Undertaker's streak and what number is it going to end at? That's a tough one. I don't think Undertaker's streak is ever going to end unless the skies open up and Sting falls from the rafters. Maybe he could beat Undertaker's streak. Somehow I don't see that happening either. I don't think there's anybody on the planet at this point who's going to stop Undertaker's streak. If I just had to throw a random name out there, I would say Wade Barrett. Like I said, that was a random name. So who's going to But like I said, that was a random name. So who's gonna end Undertaker's streak? He could pin himself if he wants and, call it 22-1 or whatever. The Undertaker versus himself at WrestleMania 31. That's it for Ringside Mailbag this week. Ask me as many questions as you want in the comments and make sure I see them, because if I don't, they don't get answered here. You know this.
Alright, hey guys, this is my audition for Ringside or Riot Weekly Fan Collection. So here we go. These are my doubles. COO Triple H and Basic Phenomenal John Cena, my two favorite doubles. See Finley and Hornswoggle. Here we go, a bunch of wrestlers. Kofi Kingston is right here, the United States belt. I make my own championship belt, as you can see from Dolph Ziggler and Mickie James. Hulk Hogan beating up Big Shoe. You see the High Flyers on top of the Titantron. Sin Cara and Rey Mysterio. If you climb this ladder, then you go over here, all my favorite figures. I don't like Kurt Hawkins or Ryback, but they're my favorite figures, some of them. Here's my favorite figure of all time, my custom JLI. He has a championship belt, my own design. This is me. He looks exactly like me, except he has blue eyes. I popped the head off a tribute to the Troop John Cena, and there he is. See you later, guys. Ringside or Riot.
What up, gangsters? Somebody last week was like, Tom, what's the best custom you've ever made? And so I don't know if I've ever actually made even a good custom, but this is my favorite custom that I ever made. Some of you may recognize it. It's the X-Pac from the NWO Federation Poison 3-pack that I was obsessed with. It's an old school Ringside Collectibles video. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Somebody right when I first made this was like, this is the laziest custom I've ever seen. And that may be true, but I did put a lot of work into it that I thought kind of got hard at some point. The other cool thing about this is this Kane mask. So if any of you remember the 2002 NWO days, which I was a fan of before they got too crazy, X-Pac pulled off Kane, his former tag team champion partner's mask, and kept it for himself and wore it to the ring for like a bunch of weeks, and Kane disappeared for a long time after that. So X-Pac really unmasked Kane before Kane unmasked himself. What I did was I took a Kane head that matched the mask that X-Pac was wearing around, and I whittled it away with this really sharp whittling knife, and got it down to this and glued this piece of elastic to it and colored the elastic black with a magic marker. You gotta think, when you're doing customs, you gotta think about this stuff. The most easy, affordable way. Not all of us have access to 3D printers. X-Pac's still my favorite wrestler of all time. There was something awesome to me about a guy that wasn't afraid to take on a huge guy like three times his size, like Big Show and Kane. And he took him on and he was never afraid. Sometimes he got his ass beat and sometimes it just didn't matter. He still always came up to them and never backed down. Let me know in the comments if there's anything else you'd like to see. I'll see if I can find it. My collection's starting to get kind of tight when it comes to new things to show you, but I'll see what I can do. Until then. Hey, thanks for checking out Ringside or Riot. That was really nice of you.
But nice guys finished last, so subscribe to our channel for future episodes. Follow our Twitter account, like our Facebook page, and check out Ringside Collectibles at WrestlingFigures.com for the largest selection of wrestling figures anywhere in the universe, so you never finish last again!